Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating young woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hi, I'm Tsdiquah. I'm based in Bali, Indonesia, and I was born in Harlem. I have Caribbean roots and Fulani roots. So this is my story. I was raised as a creative. My entire family has gifts in music, be it DJing, instrumentals, or hip hop, yeah, and dance as well. And those are all gifts I also contribute to. I guess I could start my story with my grandmother's friend. Her name was Miss Ruth, and she was around 91 when she told me this story that I'm about to share with you. So I used to be very shy about singing, and I didn't tell anybody I could sing, and whoever discovered it, I would lie and tell them that that wasn't me. It's radio. It's not me. No, I wasn't singing in the shower. It's not me. And one day, Miss Ruth, she shared a story with me. She said, "You know, you've been singing since before you had words. Before you could speak, you sang." And I'm like, "Really? Okay, that's amazing. Please share. Like, how do you know that?" And she said, "Well, when you were an infant, I would go to rock you to sleep some days. And every time you would make up these really beautiful melodies and you would lullaby me to sleep. You just created these sounds and melodies that were so beautiful." And yeah, I was like, wow. Whew. So that was intense to receive because I suppressed my gift in music. I suppressed it to fit into society because being an artist automatically puts you in a very small group, outcasts even from the everyday people. And I was highly aware of that difference, that uniqueness. So I suppressed it. And also I didn't think that being an artist was a realistic profession for me. I was taught to say I would be a lawyer or a doctor. That classic story that we all know. So I fit that mold. And around 2018, I moved to Hawaii. And that was a life-changing 4-year adventure, off and on. And the inception of that was music. I moved to Hawaii with complete strangers, all artists, from trumpet players to vocalists to drummers, producers, writers. We all brought everything we had, all of our equipment, to create an interchangeable band. It ranged from 6 to 15 people, and we all created music intuitively, not knowing each other. We all had one mutual friend, and friend was a loose term. So there is where I learned the value and necessity of my gift as a singer. I learned what the pocket was. I learned how incredibly powerful music is, and it's majestic. It is almost like magic. It is an incredible responsibility, and I didn't know that quite yet because I was at the beginning of expressing myself musically. But I remember this opera-trained vocalist and musician. She played instruments as well. My only instrument currently is my voice. I also write, dance, DJ, and compose music. So if I sit with a producer, I can create a beat. I'll be the brain, and he will carry it out. Or she, usually it's a he. That's changing, thank goodness. We need balance, right? But yeah, she had us do some vocal warm-ups and go up the scales on keys. And the first time I did, we were all doing it. I was doing it in a group. This kind. And before long, I was the only one still going up the scales with her. Everybody else stopped. And then something happened. It was a big shift in me. I felt something move in me, in my heart. And I burst into tears. And she screamed out, "Keep going." So I did. She told me to look at the flower outside. There was this beautiful plant outside of the window. A lot of tropical plants outside of the window, but one in particular, bright, bright pink. And I stared at that and I kept going in tears, and to the point where she even stopped going. I was only playing on the keys. And she's like, "Keep going." It was a big moment for me. Oh my goodness. Life-changing, life-changing moment. And she told me, "I'll have you doing whistle tones in 3 months. You're an incredible vocalist. You have a gift. You have a gift you don't have to train hard for. You do have to train, but you're ahead of the pack in that regard." And yeah, I was very shocked and in awe and scared. But the resistance to it subsided. Resistance to singing subsided, and that was replaced with a need to sing and a pain that is so strong that it formed and it never left. a pain that is highly present, almost debilitating, if I don't honor the gift, if I don't sing, if I don't honor the responsibility and gift of music, the sacred gift of music that, again, I didn't ask for. It chose me, and I am highly grateful for that. Yeah.
Wow, what a wonderful story.
Thank you.
It's just incredible that you found your vocation at a very, very early age and you listened to your promptings. So let's go back and unwind this amazing story. I'd love to talk a little bit about your cultural roots and your identity. So, as a Fulani woman, can you share how your cultural heritage influences your music and your identity as an artist?
Thank you. Yeah, it's in the blood. It's one of those things that is complex to explain because it's almost like a channeling. I wasn't born in Africa, right? So how am I able to express and channel and chant in these ways, in a way that is in alignment with African culture, African spirituality, and heritage? And the easiest, simplest way is it's in the blood.
Yeah.
It's in me. It's in my Akashic records, my epigenetics. And I say a prayer and I go deep, deep within myself. I call in my ancestry and they guide me. And what comes out is it's not me, it's them.
So, can you describe the moment that you realized that singing was more than a passion, but a home for you? And how did this realization impact your life's direction?
I think I realized it was a home for me when I was in single digit. I remember not being able to not sing. Like I had to sing secretly. I didn't want people to hear me. I really didn't. I dreaded that. But secretly, I had to do it in my room, putting myself under blankets in the shower when nobody was home. I belted. Those were the days. Like when no one was home, I was excited because I got to fully express it and hear myself in a different way. Like, whoa, that's me. Like, yep, that's you. And I didn't know I could do some of the things I could do. And I'm still discovering that. Honestly, it is evolving as we are, right, as humans. And how that's impacted me, was that the question?
Yes.
It is the greatest healer. Sound. We all have this gift in toning, right? Some people don't consider themselves singers, and that's okay. But you can tone. You can use your voice and allow sounds and tones to reverberate around the body and open up different parts of your insides that help to heal you, literally, like activating the thymus and other scientific words that I don't remember right now, but parts of the body that help you to actually heal yourself. You're using sound and it's bouncing off of your bones and creating resonance, frequency, vibration that brings you up. I get high on it, literally. You can get high on breath. You can get high on sound, on your own sounds.
You've spoken about singing to connect with the divine, to sing for the Most High, to reverberate through your bones. Can you elaborate on this spiritual aspect of your singing?
Yes, I'll try. When I sing, I feel like I'm the only person in existence in that moment. Me and my ancestry. Like I'm not here on the planet. I'm not. I go somewhere. It's ascension, essentially. It's ascension. And it takes me to a place that is a serenity, an otherworldly serenity, a peace that I don't find anywhere else. And although I have peace on this planet and in this body, it it feels like a different space, another dimension, perhaps. And yeah, it's like I rock, like this happens. I start to rock, and eyes closed or open, I'm in another space. And it's joy. It's my happy place. It's my happy place. It's complete in bliss or beyond bliss and serenity, really.
So, healing through music, in what ways do you believe your music serves as a healing tool for both yourself and your listeners?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Lyrically and sonically, the tone. So tone and lyrics, those two combined, to me makes it a guiding. It's a guidance. It's a storytelling, um, but it's more so a guidance for people, a blueprint, a way to be reminded of your own pure essence. Be reminded of the things that you can speak to yourself. You can speak life right into you. You can chant and mantra these words and feel better and literally be better because of it. Literally. Because you're telling yourself this. You're telling yourself these words. And I'm trying to think of some lyrics right now, but I'm in this let me stay present in this space. But yeah, you're speaking life into yourself and affirming yourself, affirming your light, and your purity. And it's almost like remembering who you were when you were born at
Yeah.
birth, that infant, that pure essence. That is what I'm channeling, and that's what my goal is, to help people to feel that, to tune in and tap into that in themselves, their inner innocence, because it's our greatest protector. It's our innocence.
And it is also our greatest potential, right? Because at that moment in time, you were pure possibility until you stepped into this world and then started seeing all of the limitations and holding back and not being truly yourself.
Mm.
So that is a
Yeah.
beautiful gift that you give people to be able to take them back to that point. So you also say, I sing to speak life unto all. What messages or themes do you hope people take away from your music?
That no matter how far you've gone from, or that you think you've gone from your pure essence, you can realign like that. You can realign to the goodness that you are. And we all have it. We all have this purity and goodness. And that serves you. So allowing your goodness to serve you, no matter
Yes.
what's happening in the world, no matter how daunting things can appear, don't don't take don't surrender to the illusion of
Mhm.
doom and gloom. Mm-mm, it's illusion. And through it, you can still be walking around light. You can walk through the fire and not be touched by it, literally.
Yeah.
And that's in the ancestral lineage, as you know. Um, there's a lot of magic in African ancestry. That's
Oh, yeah.
normal, everyday things, and literally sit in or walk in fire and not be burned.
That is just incredible. Absolutely exquisite. So, Can you walk us through your creative process? How do you approach writing and composing your music?
Yes. It starts with mumbling. It's the funniest thing. It starts with mumbling, like a
Right,
ditty. You just ooh, you can just make a sound that becomes words, and then you don't let yourself off the hook. That's number one. Keep going. So you start with just tones, with just sounds, or I start with just tones and sounds. And
right,
then lyrics start to form. And then a beat, music to back that will come in. And I'll take my phone recorder and I'll sing it first. I'll sing the lyrics and then I'll sing the beat. And then I'll combine them if I can, almost like a beatboxer. Um,
right.
And yeah, before you know it, I have a song. And you expand it. You stay in the pocket and you expand it. And then you write it down, of course. I'd write it on paper or in my notes. The phone recorder and the notes, valuable, highly valuable to a creative, especially in music.
You make it sound so simple, but it isn't as simple as it sounds. So, how do you tailor your performance to connect with diverse audiences, especially considering your international background? Right now, you're in Bali, Indonesia. You've got this Afro American background. How do you tailor your performances?
Mm, yeah, and I wanna really emphasize something. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a side note, right? Because and if you need to edit this out, it's okay. But I do want to emphasize that um, I am native to those lands that people call America. We call Turtle Island. I'm Haudenosaunee and Cherokee. Yeah. So that means that my experience is one of a first or second generational immigrant, and
Right.
of someone who has a lineage of people, a bloodline of Africans who have been there in Turtle Island before it became America, and both still exist right now today. There's Turtle Island and America all in the same place. Yeah, so I identify as a Fulani native to Turtle Island with also Caribbean roots. Grandpa's from Barbados, dad's from Virgin Islands. Yeah. So and the bonus dad is from Senegal. So my upbringing was very layered. Um, very, very multicultural. Wasn't the typical what we think of as America or American experience. Yeah. So I have some of that, but a lot of my roots are not that. In my upbringing, from the time I can remember, I was surrounded by language and culture and multiculturalism from a huge family with deep, deep lineage roots as Fulani nomads, because and nomad is like very commercial word. I don't really like it, but I haven't yet found the word to replace that. But it's common that people would identify with, right? So, but we are global pollinators from ancient times to present day, Fulani people. And we're known, popularized, I think, in the west of Africa, but we also, some of us started east in the Sahel. In the Sahel, as far east as Ethiopia, as far west as Dakar, we migrate. So we migrated for salt, for sand. We traded uh, for salt and because of the sand, right, sandstorms.
Yeah.
And we were known as medicine people who carried medicine in our jewelry and traded with the farmers, yeah, herbalists. So that's some of the layers of my upbringing, right?
Okay.
Um, Remedies. But let me get back to and I only say that because you said Afro American, which is like jolting to my
Yes.
system. because I don't identify as that. I identify as a native to Turtle Island and a Fulani woman and a Caribbean woman.
So, what has been your most memorable response from someone who was moved by your performance?
Mm. Okay, so yes, how I connected internationally was through being a nomad, living a nomadic lifestyle from the age of 21 to present day, really. And live performances, live presentation, really. I like to say present, right? Because performance is a little different. But I'm presenting and leaving my heart in the space, leaving my heart and words and essence in the space for people to feel that. And I've gone on tour, 100% donation based, house concerts, singing in aerial studios, in schools, and on farms. Yeah, 100% donation based for people who wanted to gather their folks to have an experience. And it was, not only was it lucrative, it was fun, it was uplifting, it was empowering. And people, once we finished the presentation, the music stopped and people swarmed to us, some with tears in their eyes, some with open wallets, like here's 100, here's 500 US, thank you, you know.
Oh.
They were moved, and we were all crying together at that point. And I was in awe of that they were touched in that way, and they shared their words in the moment, and those things live in my heart. And that was on an internationally. Started in California. Well, it started in Hawaii, and California was the tour, and then it's been East Africa, it's been Europe, it's been Asia now. And I'm so grateful.
So, what have been some of the most significant challenges that you faced in your career, and how have you overcome them to maintain your artistic integrity?
So, of course, finance. The starving artist is a very real cliche. And yeah, finance has probably been the biggest challenge. And how I supersede that is I make myself a resource to people. I want to know what people need and want, and then I recognize what I have that could attribute to them, contribute to their life in some way. And sometimes that's been real estate for the last, since 2018, honestly. Since 2020, it's been real estate. And allowing myself to connect with owners of spaces and connect with people as a natural networker, and connecting them to safe spaces, and then getting tipped for that, for making that connection.
Wow.
Connecting people to land as well.
Let's have a little look at the future. Looking forwards, what are your aspirations for your music? And are there new areas or styles that you wish to explore?
Yeah, so I like being genre less or genre full. I like exploring all the genres that I've heard and appreciate, from opera to metal, and again, and to trap, to soul, to amapiano. Those are genres I would love to deep dive into more. And I don't have my music publicly anywhere, really. It's always been live with live musicians, literally. Okay. Yeah, and so that's a goal. A goal is to, become a recording artist, and continue to be a live artist, a live musician. Mm-hmm.
Now, I have two last questions that I ask everybody who comes onto this podcast. And we're going to have a little time experiment. We're going to teleport you back into the past to that young woman who discovered her vocation. She found out what she loved, and she stepped out on faith to pursue it and live it. And here you are. If you could go back to the younger you and give her 3 nuggets of wisdom based on what life has taught you up until this point, what would you say to her? And this is really for that person who's listening to this show, who knows they have this thing inside them that has to come out, have been holding back all their lives, they're fearful, they're scared of failure. What would you have wanted somebody to have told you when you started off?
Surround yourself only with people that you want to be like, people that are doing things you want to be doing. Only surround yourself with them.
Okay.
Pray and listen for the answers. There's your guidance. Ask your highest self, ask the Most High, ask whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, the goodness that you do believe in. Ask for the answers. Don't ask for too much advice from people other than that sacred group of people who are doing what you aspire to be doing. Don't ask for too many opinions. Listen to your inner knowing. And joy is intentional. Joy is activism. Joy is what will get you through your worst days. And joy is internal. It's not something anybody can give to you. It is yours. You already have it. And it's something that you can remember and tune into at any point. So create your happy space in your mind's eye, in your imagination. If you don't have a place in the world that you can go to, that is your peace, your happy space, that you can close your eyes and see it. For me, that's Tanzania, that's Zanzibar, that's Paje, East Island, and I can close my eyes and I'm there in any moment. And life, death, nothing in between can take the peace I feel away, right? And I lived in that life. So that's a physical space I've been, but you can imagine it too. You can dream it. You can dream this space, your happy space, that a space you can go where no one can take it away from you because it's inside of you. And then you share that space with people through your energy.
Now let me teleport you into the future. And we're going to go again on this little time experiment to meet the 100-year-old you. And you are sitting in your rocking chair, surrounded by your children, your dogs, your cats, your husband, your lovers. If you could go and have a conversation with this wise woman who has led you up until that point, what will you say to her when you finally meet her?
Thank you. I would say thank you. I'm grateful that you never quit and you stayed true to yourself the entire time, honoring your birthright, honoring your lineage, and becoming and remaining one with all that is.
The reason why I love to ask that as my last question is that a lot of women don't realize that the wise woman is already here. She's already in us. She's that little voice that tells you to go left, go right, say yes, say no. But we spend most of our lives second guessing the gift. And we move and we miss on a lot of opportunities because we doubt ourselves. So thank you for that confirmation. All we have to say is thank you for being you. Thank you so much for this amazing interview.
Thank you so much, Gertrude. I really appreciate you and your work, your history. Thank you for your history and what you've given to us on TED Talks and in life, all the people that have been blessed because of your existence. Thank you too.
It's an absolute honor. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in today. The Her Story Circle is a platform that brings you some phenomenal stories. Stories designed to uplift, energize, inspire you, and empower you. So tune in again tomorrow when I interview yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now. Thanks again for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates, and join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story.